Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Pacific Inlet Logging here on Farming Simulator 17. I am going to, today, I've got the tractor over there at the moment, and what I was thinking to do today was we'll chop down a load of trees. The plan this week is to try to get an auto-load trailer. The tractor we've got is not sufficient to pull an auto-load trailer. The tractor we've got also is not actually a Valtra, it is a Valmet. I said Valtra last week, it's not actually a Valtra. This was actually made before Valmet was bought out by Valtra and became Valtra Valmet. It is just a Valmet. So thank you very much to everybody that pointed that out to me, and yes, I should have known that. I should know better. I've actually spoken on the subject previously, so I do feel that I should have known about that. So we've got a 156 horsepower tractor here for 27,000, or if we go here, we've got a 122 horsepower tractor, the TW5, and that's only 13,000. So there's a big difference between two. That's 150 and that's 122. I mean, if I go here and we go upgrade to the TW15 with the mudguards are TW15. It's 2,000 for the mudguards. So if we don't have the mudguards, yes, we have a muddier tractor, but we get a 137 horsepower tractor for 20 grand. It is still quite a bit of it is a big upgrade. I mean, I did originally say that we would do it with that one because then, you know, I figured it would fit. But I mean, if we spend 19,000 on that one right there, and then we spend 13,000 on that tractor with zero modifications at all, we can always go and buy another one. So we start with the TW5. So 13 and 19 would make 32,000. So we haven't got very much more to go. So that's 32, and we do need one more thing in order to get the auto-load trailer, and we've got to have a dolly. That one's 12.5, which is my preferred dolly because of the double wheels on it, which is 3.5 grand more on that one. So we want 32, and then that there is going to make 42,500. So we want 45. So we want about 13 grand. 13 grand is not very much. So what I was going to do, I've actually got another mod now. We're going to do this a minute, and we're going to cut down a few trees. I'm going to cut down 4 or 5 trees. I reckon if we chop down 5 trees, that might actually be enough. So chop you down there, and I'm just going to ignore like the bits that turn up, and then we crouch down like this, and just run up the tree like this, and I do want to actually, you know, if I have the saw that way round, it should do it a little better. There, we run up the tree like that, and it does actually take. I was told that if I cut the very tip of the tree off, I actually get a better price. I didn't realise this. I don't know if that is actually a thing or not. We'll find out. I'll do it with a couple of them, and I won't do it with the others. There, run along there like that. So that should now have cleared all of that one. Right, so I got another mod, and it's one that I've been waiting to get for a bit. I think we still want to go. So we've got glance. I've got the activate hand tool, change sawdust dirt level, and then rotate like that and activate this tool. But no, there's another one, which is I go to here like this. I think it's left alt, is it? I don't know how to make this thing. I don't know how to operate it. Left alt, click, and move. I activated it. I'm sure I put it in. Left alt, I think. Ah, there. Left alt and right click. And then I come down here, and that tells me when I've reached like the full length. So what we'll do is we'll see. Actually, let's go up to here a minute. And I'm assuming that it'll be wherever the chainsaw points. So we'll go to there, and then left alt right click. Left alt right click right onto the end there. And then if we run down this end, and we look here, there's 23.3 meters. So roughly I'm looking at 8 meters per length for cutting these trees up. So I am about right for cutting it into an 8-meter length. I am actually about right. So I want to do that and just get rid of it. So we won't worry about that one for a minute then. That was the one that I wanted to look at. We got that. There's the measuring one. If you want to get that one, you go into the beta section on the mods, and you go all the way back to the beginning, and it's like this, the third or fourth mod that was ever put on there in the beta section. So it's really easy to find, and should be really easy to, you know, install and all the rest of it. So we'll run up through here. This is number 2. Now we're not going to be able to get the Scorpion. Are we? We're not going to be able to get that Ponzi Scorpion, I don't think, to clear this entire area. We're going to be doing this by hand. Right, I'm going to leave that one. One thing I haven't actually done is I haven't actually changed this from European measurements to the... We don't want pounds, that's the UK. We want that one there and there. Right, go back to that. So there's 2 trees. Let's cut down another one. And this one here... This branch is like right in the way. It's inconvenient. I want to... If I do it this way, though, then the tree is going to fall in completely the wrong direction. So I think I'm going to leave that tree, actually. I'm going to go over to this tree over here, and we'll crouch down and we'll chop that one. Because what the plan is once I've dragged these 5 trees over and we've slung them in the water, we're then going to go and... Oh, that's the other thing. Is should I just cut the trees in half and do 12-meter lengths? There's somebody, I did see a chart a little while ago to show the optimal length for cutting trees. Now, these are 24 meters each. If I chop them straight in half, do I get a bit more money for cutting them in half? The only downside to that is that I can't just physically throw them into the water. These logs have been, they have all been made lighter on this one. Somebody did say that they were all made lighter because the person that made the map, he wanted it to work with some mods that he had or something. So the trees are actually lighter than they would be normally. I did think they were. I didn't think it was another... well, we know that they were lighter. It's just I wasn't sure if it was another mod or something. It's gone the wrong way. It's not supposed to fall that way at all. It's supposed to go, like, over the way I'm pointing my saw. It was the whole joy of this thing. Was it supposed to do it like that, and it would work really well? Disappointed now. I feel like I've been let down. I'm curious if our Valmet, sorry. I'm curious if that one could actually physically pull the auto log trailer. Because if it could, it would save us a little bit of time, because I could just chop these logs up right here, and I think I can cut them into 12-meter lengths. If I... Let's do this. We'll buy that trailer first, because I'm just go along here and I can cut this one in half. 12-meter lengths. It is going to, you know, probably slightly less money that we're going to get, but if I'm only doing a single cut on the tree after cleaning it, it's going to save us time and money. Well, it's going to save us time, which effectively translates to give us money, which, you know, is a good thing. It's whether or not that tractor can physically pull the logging trailer. So let's go to the tractor. We'll start you up, and I did consider using the no teleport mod, and then quickly decided against it because yeah, quite frankly I don't want to do that. Let me move. Yeah, I want to move that one over there. I'll lower you down like that and then unhitch you, and then we'll bring you over this way. If I just put you over there like that, lower you down there like that, and we'll unhitch you as well there, and then we'll head over towards the shop and we will collect our new trailer. Somebody asked if I could sell these piles of logs. I don't think you can. I think they're just part of the map. It's a bit of a shame, because it would be very cool if you could just pick them up and sell them, because we'd make a fortune out of them. But no, I don't think that's actually a thing. I'm just going to leave you there a second and run over to here. Right. I want the dolly, which is that one. This is the dolly that I want. Now, wheel setup, we can go for wide tyres. It's an extra 200. Painting it, oh, it's only 250. But I don't really care about that, so we'll go back to just the grey and we'll leave it. But I do want the wide tyres. I think that's going to end up benefiting us. I'm not quite sure why. I just think it would be a good thing. So we've got to buy that one. Remember, we're not allowed to lease anything. That's our rule on this map, is we're not allowed to lease anything at all. So then we go here into Lambo Mods, and there'll be a link for this one in the description down below. The reason I use this one rather than the other autoload logging trailer that I've got, there's also a link for this one in the description down below, is because this one here is the same as the Lambo one. It's just that that one there has actually got a rear trailer hitch on it, just in case you want it. So wide tyres there is another 600, 19,600. We're a little, we can't quite afford it. So we do have to go and get a tiny teensy bit more money, just another couple grand, before we can finish this. How can I do it? I've got a piece of timber right there. I'm going to take that one. 19,600 for the extra bit. Doesn't like me carrying these small bits around. Occasionally throws them about at me. Chuck you into there. It's going to get me all of $0. Okay. Right. Well, we'll just ignore that. No, well, what I thought I could do, actually, is rather than worrying about this too much, rather than, like, dragging yet more trees out, is if I do it right here, I can clean this tree down, and I can pick it up and I can carry it over and sling it into the pond from where I am right here. So I will just run over to here a minute, and we'll look roughly halfway, and we'll chop this one in half. I'm hoping that the auto-load trailer does more than... I don't know if it goes higher than a 12-meter log. If it doesn't do higher than a 12... We could be in trouble on that. Does it say? No, it doesn't say anything about the auto-load script. And I'm not sure what the auto-load script can cope with. Whether it'll go to a 13 or 14-meter log. If it does 13 or 14, then we'll be fine. All of these logs and stuff will go straight in without any problem. If it doesn't, then those, we're not going to get them in. Which, well, if we can't, we can't. We'll worry about that afterwards. Let's go along here. So what I'd like to do this week is I'd like to get most of the rest of this area cleared of trees so that we can move on to stage 2, which is getting it ready for planting. Several people have expressed concern that this series is going to run too slowly in order for me to be able to make any effective progress before FS17 comes out. Yes, it is going to run slowly, and no, we're not going to be able to do very much before FS19 comes out, but I'm actually okay with this, because this is kind of like a test pilot series, and so far, I'm pleased with the response. I'm pleased with the number of people that seem to like it. I'm planning to do something similar once FS19 comes out, and sort of moving to hard mode, not having any leasing, that sort of thing, is all things that I'm thinking of doing with it. So we're going to have like it's going to be a very long-running, slow series, which is going to be different to the other ones, where I sort of, everything is like quite quick. I try to get through things as quickly as possible, that kind of thing. This one is going to be long-running and slow. That's the whole point of it, is we're just going to like chill out and do things little bit by little bit as we get to them. And it's not going to be like a mad, frantic hurry or anything like that. And I would like to work my way through various, turning a forestry map into a farming map. And from what I've seen so far of the farm constructions, you can literally start in this new game with nothing. And, I mean, I think that the maps have all got fields and stuff on them. Like the first map. So I don't know what I'll be doing on the first ones, but once we get a logging map, we'll be able to take a logging map, clear an area of trees, and then we'll actually be able to buy an animal farm and like set it all up and buy and build sheds for cattle and pigs and sheep and stuff like that, and add all of those in if we want to. So hopefully the creator of this map will have seen all of that and thought, wow, actually that's really cool. I'm going to let everybody do that as well. And add in, like, sale points. However, even if he doesn't, I have noticed in previous... with mods and stuff, that it's usually pretty quick for universal sale points to be released as mods. So regardless of what happens, we should have a universal sale point, even if we get a logging map that doesn't have everything that we want. We should still be able to do everything that we want, and then get the actual logging map and be able to build, you know, cut down, hack it out from the wilderness and build from scratch. That is my plan for a long-running series, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. We need just a couple more logs, and then we can go and get the trailer for the next stage, which is going to be, then we want to see if we can cut down these trees. And, well, just cut them in half, just 2 trees at once, and then do it sort of like that. If we can, that's going to be absolutely brilliant, because we'll be able to just take the tree. We will have to strip it off, but then we can cut it just in half. We don't have to cut it into 3 sections, which over the course of doing all the trees in this area is going to save us a lot of money. That's going to save us a huge chunk of money. So there's another 1,100. We got plenty of money now to do it. We can easily afford this trailer. And we go up to here. We've got the dolly and we've got the trailer. Yeah. And then we get a little bit more. And then we'll be able to see about getting a bigger tractor, should we want one. Bring this one over and sling that in a second. There we go. And then one more piece here that I just want to chuck off. And I'm just going to have a drink a second. Right, that's better. Let's carry on. So we grab this one and run that one down to the lake. And there we go. Okay. There's that bit done. So next we come over to here. You're still running. I didn't realise you were still running. And we'll come over to here. And we will buy our timber runner. There we go. And I do want the wide tyres. So I know it's an extra $600, but I still think it's worth it. There we go. Now, the big question is, can this tractor pull that trailer? Yes, it's going to be a struggle. There's no doubt whatsoever that it is going to be a serious struggle for it, but it may still be able to do it. I've seen tractors pull some fairly impressive loads before now. And even if it's slow going, it's still, you know, it's still good. Even if it's just like a really slow moving thing, if it'll still move it, that's what counts. So back that one up there. The one big thing that we're going to have when we get to FS19 is waiting for the invaluable... There we go. It does. It moves. It's slow. I don't know what it's going to be like once we get some logs on board, but it's going. One big thing we're going to have when we get to FS19 is... Wow, this is really slow. How long are we going to have to wait before we get the auto-load logging script onto some trailers? Now, we know it's the guy, Mahu, isn't it? That's the guy who does it, the legend himself. And he's the one that makes the auto-load scripts for the logging trailers, at least. I don't know who did the auto-load logging script for the others, but he did for this. Now, does it say how much left side is right? That's the one, and then start auto-load with B. It's whether or not these logs are too long. It might be. That one I don't think has even been cut in half. Oh, yes, it has. Right. Oh, they are. Yes, excellent. They're loading. They are loading. This is great. Chuck you down. Right. The problem with the logging script is it is a little bit difficult to, like, get into place. I don't think I'm going to be able to pick up. Yeah, too heavy. Right. I've got some logs on there, so we can pick up the 12-meter logs. That's all that matters. As far as I'm concerned, that's what we want. Let's bring this one in a little bit closer. Am I going to be able to get that next one going to load? I'm going to count. Right, it doesn't. I don't think that's a 12-meter log. I think that 12 is actually our limit, and that's why these aren't loading, because I don't think I've done them right. I think that's what the problem is. If I use the measuring gauge, let's just stop you a second. So the measuring gauge goes. We'll bring it over to here. We want to go there. You go Alt. Right click there, and then I go up to this end of it there. See, that's over 13 meters, that is. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to cut that one off. Cut that end off. See if that makes a difference. I don't think it does. Right. Alt right click. It does appear that it's 12 meters is the limit, and because these are under 12 meters, over 12 meters, it's not going to do them. So I'm going to have to cut the trees into 3. If I do roughly into 3, it should be alright. But like this, I mean, this big one here, that one should be fine. It's these over here, like this one here, I think is too long. So if I cut that one in, hang on, I want to cut it like that. There, cut that one in half and cut that next one in half as well. That's going to give us a better length of log to be able to get through. And then we go into here and chop that one off. It's the TW5. That's the £13,000 tractor, $13,000 tractor, I should say. But I think that's the next one that we want to go for, isn't it? Now, did I just chop that in half? Yes, I did. Right, that's cut in half. This one here should be all right. The lower part of this one should be all right as well, although we can just check that one. We can bring that one. Yes, see, I've 9 meters. I didn't cut these very evenly at all. I didn't judge the distance very well. I'll go in there and I'll chop that one like that. And then once I've picked these logs up, we should be able to get this moving a little bit faster. Let's just have a look. Am I still loading? I am still loading. Right, it's still got the auto load going. There we go. Let's load it up another one. And another one. You do have to go slow once you start loading them. Get a few of them into there. There we go. Because what they do is it drops it in the air, and then if you're moving too fast, your log ends up falling off the back of the trailer, which is not something you really want. Just back you around that way, and I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to back up a bit more than this, if I can. Straighten you a little bit. We'll back out this way like this, and try to avoid too many of these stumps. The stumps are the difficult bit. I'm thinking, you know, we could gather up a whole load of the wood chips, but I don't know how much time we want to spend gathering wood chips, because it's a time-consuming process gathering wood chips, and it may end up not being all that profitable to worry about it too much. We'll come up this way here and get to there. So we've got that great big one there loaded on, and then there's going to be 2 more here. There's one, and then that little bit there for the last one. Just going to go in. There we go. We got it. We got it. Now I've got to try and get out of here. Oops, not like that. I'm not. Let's try turn. Let's try actually steering this thing in the right direction, shall we? There we go. And if I bring it out like that, that was terrible reversing. That was. I'm just gonna hit maximum speed a minute, and we're gonna bring this one round. What I'd like to try and do now is to unload it next to the hut, so that we don't have to worry about the ramp. So I want to go straight out this way, and then come in beside the hut and sort of turn. And I'm hoping that it'll unload straight out onto the side. So I'm going to, I've pressed B already to stop the auto load. And then I bring it in over this way. And I bring it to that point right there. Like that. And just sort of swing round the corner a little bit. Go on a little tiny bit more. And I think it should be all right there. And I think it's, what is it? Is it Z for, yeah, start unload is Z. So I do that. It does unload, and it sort of drops them into the lake a bit. That's not ideal, is it? That's really not. Let's load them back on again. Load them back onto this trailer, and then we'll see if we can do this a little bit differently. Bring you over there. That one that's lying on the ground right there. We can just pick that one up and let that one slide away in. There we go. Right. So if it didn't quite go there, I need to bring it down a little bit tighter. But I think I can still drop them in on this bit right here, and I think that will actually be all right. So if I stop there and there, unload, and there we go. They'll all roll down the slope now, and we get paid for them. That's more like it. 13,000 we've got now. That's much more like it. Right. So we'll bring this one up a little bit, and I'm going to stop the tractor, and then we're going to start the next stage now. And it's really a case of getting these trees felled in a reasonable sort of manner so that we can strip them all off and cut them. We are going to have to cut them twice, We can't do the just chopping them in half unless we spend a load of time measuring each one, which I think is actually going to be more time consuming than if we just chop them straight down and do it like this. So we'll go up like that, and then we can auto load and we can start them moving. And yes, I know there's probably going to be some people that would prefer me not to do any auto loading at all. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Auto load is definitely going to be used. I'm not doing all of this without auto load. Auto load takes long enough. Even when you have got, if you've got the Ponzi Scorpion and you've got auto load and you've got everything to help you out, it still takes ages. And as somebody said on one of the comments, Rose, I think it was, said on one of the comments, she's gone through and has done this, and she ended up getting the Bruck's Big Daddy chipper and just going through and chipping everything really fast like that, and it still took ages to clear fell enough land to like get any kind of meaningful area cleared for doing cropping. This is a long-term project. This really is a long-term thing to do. It's not something that's going to be happening overnight for us. Now, I want to roughly chop these into 3, don't I? So we've got 1 there. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. I can chop like a small-ish bit off the top, and then chop a bigger piece, you know, and chop the remaining bit in half. And I've still got well under 12 meters on each of them because of the height of these trees. These aren't the actual complete full-grown pine trees. The complete full-grown ones, you get 5 8-meter lengths out of them. But we don't have any of those. Are like the super tall ones. We don't have any of them. We've just got shorter ones, which I think is probably something that the map creator did in order to at least make it a little bit easier to clear the fields. Because if you had the really tall ones on here, you'd be there for a long... It's shifting the logs afterwards. Once you cut the trees down, it's shifting the logs afterwards. It would take absolutely ages to do it if you had that many on there. If you're getting like 5 logs per tree, you're going to be there forever. You really are. You're going to be there for a very long time. So we've done 2 trees so far. So we'll cut down that one there, and we'll run over here, and we're going to cut down this one here. Chop you down, and then we'll strip these 2 and chop them up. And I reckon that we ought to go, we'll try and go for 10 trees. We'll cut them down 2 at a time and strip them and cut them up so that we can sort of keep a rough count of what we're doing. And then, right, can I just run straight all the way up the tree without having to stop? Because the screen goes a bit blurry. It sort of messes with my eyes a bit, but does it work? If it works, it might be what? Yeah, I think it does. I think that's actually a good thing. Okay, we'll try that then. So we will chop that one there. And as that one's through, I can run down or walk down because I'm holding the chainsaw, and we can go right there, chop that one in half, and then we'll nip over to the other tree and we'll do that one. So there's 4 trees down on the ground. There we go. And bring that one back up again and go all the way up through there like that. Oop. There we go. Hopefully that has cleared all of it. It does seem to have. Excellent. Right, and then I'll chop that one off there. Like that. So that's 4. I'll get those 2 right there in front of us, I think, for the next 2. And I'm curious if I can actually put 10 trees into the trailer. I think, what did we have before? We had 4 trees, didn't we? I don't think I can. I don't think I can quite fit 10. I think it's going to be like 8 is going to be the optimal number or something. Let's bring you round and lower you down like that. There we go. Chop you out through. And then I want to get the next one as well, which is going to be that one there. And I want to fell that one outwards down that way. So hopefully it'll go the way that I'm pointing. Usually, they seem to fall in the direction that the chainsaw moves. Yes. Usually. But we have already had exceptions to that rule, which does make life difficult for us at times. Go up through here like that. Crouching and sawing all the way. There we go. Right, has that cleared it? Yes, it has. So I can come back through and I'll slice off there. And then do another slice. It's going to be interesting to see if we've actually got... Is the trailer going to be able to pick up everything on our first pass through? Or have we got some of this like completely and totally wrong? I don't think we have. I think we've got a fairly good measure on this now. Put that one through there. And then we come up this way and lower down. We run up through. So that makes 6 trees now. There. I'll cut that one right there on that pile of wood chips. So I am trying to get slightly shorter lengths on the very top end of the tree, because that's obviously it's the least valuable bit of timber anyway. And I think it's like 10 to 12 meters is the optimal length of tree. It might be 9 meters or something like that. But, yeah, so if we can make these slightly longer here, it's going to end up working better for us, I think. This is going to be 7 and 8 that we're going to cut now. And I am actually thinking that we might just do 7 and 8. Chop this one and one... No, I said 10. And for once, I'm actually going to do what I said I would. I'm going to actually attempt this. You know, trying to do something that I said that I was going to do. I know, and I'm as shocked by this idea as you are. But let's just roll with this, and we'll see where it takes us. We'll run up through there, and that's the difficult bit, is going over where you cross other trees, branches, because it tries to cut through it. Right. There's that bit sliced off. We'll go to about there and chop a little piece off the end. You've got to make sure you cut it long enough, though, because if you don't cut it long enough, the trailer won't pick it up. I think... Yeah, I'm not actually sure. I know it doesn't pick up at 1 meter length. It may pick up 2 meters. I honestly don't know if it picks up 2 meters or not. So we got this tree right here is going to be number 1. And then the one behind us. So we did 7 and 8. This is going to be number 9 and number 10. So I say number 1. Number 9 and number 10. What we're chopping here now. So there's number 9, and this should be number 10, unless I've horribly miscalculated and I've just missed out 7 and 8. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Did I? I don't know now. We get into the tractor and we'll be able to have a look around in a second. So let's put you down there and crouch. There we go. Start going up through. Have we got any? Oh yeah, we do. We got one other bit there. I can take that. That is all taken off, nice and clean, and then I can go back to there, chop that one off. I've got one more to strip off over there, and we've got a big area then that's starting to become clear. I'm still going to do this whole area. We're going to chop down all the trees in this area before we do anything else. And there we go. Once I've cut all the trees, we'll see if we think it's worth gathering up all of the wood chips, or if we should just move straight in with the plow type thing to remove all of the tree stumps. It might not actually be worth bothering with gathering up the wood chips, so we may decide that it's just not worth that effort. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes wood chips just aren't worth bothering with. And then sometimes they are. Sometimes you can make an absolute fortune out of them, as I've proved in my time-lapse. Although it's got to be said, I did have a great demand, and it come up with the wood chips, which was quite sort of fortunate, because it doubled the price and then held them. And it's when the great demands are the bit that make the difference. They're the ones that make or break, because otherwise, you know, we all know the price drops. And so if the price is constantly dropping, you're not really going to make much money. But if the price goes up and then is guaranteed and held there for a while, that's when you make your cash. Right, how many have I got on the ground? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait a minute. There's 3 over there. Or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9. That is 9 trees. I'm supposed to have 10. I could have sworn I had 10 on the ground. I got 3 over there, all sort of touching each other. And then 2, and then 2 there, and then 1, and then 1 over there. That's 9 trees. I haven't felled any... That's it, it is. It's 9 trees. There's 1, 2, and 3 right there. And then we got 4 and 5 right here. 6, 7, and 8 that I'm standing on. And 9 right there. Did I have any more? I didn't. Well, I'll be. Right, okay, we've got to cut 1 more tree down. I honestly thought I'd done 10. So how did I miss 1? It is somewhere I missed 1 single tree. Alright, well, we'll take this one down. There we go. And over you go. Right, now we'll slice you open all the way down through, like that. And nice, I missed the one underneath. There we go. Right, and then we'll come down here and we'll cut you off there, and then I got one more slice to do, and I've got another tree. Right, and that'll make 10 trees. Should do. Right, I'm gonna cut that one right across there like that. I'm curious now how many trees we've got left. How much longer is this going to take? We've got... Well, there's a few here that are lying on their side. There's actually quite a few going back through here, isn't there? I reckon... I wouldn't like to say. I reckon we've got at least 50 or 60 trees in here to take down yet. Possibly more than that. There's 50 or 60 trees minimum. And then you have a look at the whole map. Right, we're just doing this section down here. I dread to think how long did it take this guy to make this map? Right, he literally must have been sat there for weeks adding trees. I mean, he quite possibly was. You could be looking at 10,000 trees across this entire map. It's just insane. There is a lot of trees on this map. I know that there is a lot of trees on this map, but just I have no idea how many. I would love to know. If anybody knows the creator or has seen any notes or anything, I would dearly love to know just how many trees are on this map. It would be absolutely wickedly cool if we could know how much work has gone into this, because it is a really good map. I know that some people don't like logging, and so obviously it's not their cup of tea, but it is a very well made map. And the fact that they went through afterwards and then added in the sale point and the BGA and stuff like that, for the people specifically who wanted to be able to convert it to a full-scale farming map, that's the bit that did it for me. That's the bit that sold it for me. And made me decide that actually the guy that created this map is like a really, decent bloke, because he's not just creating the map that he wants and then ignoring everybody else. He's also allowing people the ability to adjust his map to suit their playstyle, and that's sort of what separates some map creators from others. Some don't like the idea of any changes whatsoever being done to their map, regardless of whether it's in Giant's edit. Because loads of people will take a map and then they'll go and spend several hours editing it to suit their own playstyle. And I know a lot of people who got this map, I've seen it on a lot of the forums, they got this map and then immediately went and added in a whole load of extra bits, because this map didn't suit their playstyle as it was created. But right, there is no way we're fitting 10 trees in this trailer, is there? We might fit 8 trees in. But yeah, this creator, he went along and he basically just gave everybody the kind of map that a lot of people were trying to create for themselves anyway. I know I did read of quite a lot of people who changed this map over. Let's put some straps on there. There we go. Now we've got a proper load. I'm going to grab this as I'm going to come out actually. And I'm going to admire this. We're going to take this as our screenshot, if I can. It's this kind of screen. Yeah, I'm going to need to look at this somewhere else. But we're going to need a different angle for this, so that we've got a decent screenshot picture. I think that's looking pretty good there. But see, okay, I like that. I like that. We've got logs on the ground. We've got logs on the trailer, and we've got the little Valmet there, doing, really struggling. The black smoke is starting to billow a bit from the pipe, from the stack there, and this is a good look. I like this. But yeah, this guy, he sort of paid attention to what people were wanting and how people were modifying the map, and he put the tools right in the map to allow people to do it. And that, I think, is highly commendable, because I know plenty of other map creators who will go and create the map. And yes, I understand that it takes a lot of work to make a map, and I appreciate that it takes a huge amount of work to make a map. But some of them get very, very angry at the thought of somebody changing their map. Even if they don't, I can understand changing the map and then releasing it to the public. That's a bit cheeky, that is, because it's not your map. So don't take it and then release it to the public, because that's basically stealing someone else's work. But taking the map and modifying it for your own use, I cannot see how that could be a problem. But it is a problem for some people. And that's the thing that I've seen. A lot of, well, mod creators and map creators, and I have seen several people getting upset about this. That, you know, people take a mod and then they'll change it. And, well, that's not how I made it. You're supposed to use it how I made it. Well, no. If somebody's releasing it, that's the joy of this game. Is you can alter anything you want to suit your own playstyle. They've got editing tools built in. Well, they're not built in. The editing tools are a separate program. But there is editing tools released for free that you can use to modify this game to your heart's content. And that's what makes this game great, is the ability to modify it. And yes, taking someone else's work and then modifying it further may not be acceptable to some, but as long as you're not taking someone else's work and changing it a little bit and then releasing it, I cannot see that would be a problem. That's just my view, though. However, I don't actually release any. I don't actually change any maps. I just generally find a map that I want to play. Before this had the BGA and stuff added in, my original plan was, if I was going to do this map, was to just find a universal sell point, plonk that down, and do it with the universal sell point. But the person that made this map, he's built in a grain storage and right here, and he's built in a grain sell point just over there, which is actually really convenient because you haven't got very far to take it. There's a bale sell point as well as the logging stuff and that. And you've got a big flat area that you can set up some more things if you want to, which again is really awesome. So, points all round. I'm really impressed with this map, and I look forward to seeing a similar map created by this person for FS19, where FS19 comes with the inbuilt ability, like I said, to add animals and stuff like that to the map. You'll be able to just add them into any map you want and whatever animals you want, and I think that is going to be very cool as well. Just quickly chuck those last few logs in. So there's our 10 trees gone in, fallen into the lake. And we've now got $42,000. This is looking a little bit more like it. This tractor is very slow. So I would like to change this tractor up. So we're just going to stop that one a second. This is getting a bit noisy. And the original plan was to go for the TW5. That's $13,000. We can easily afford. But we can now actually easily afford the TW25, which is 156 horsepower. I'm torn. I really am. I'm torn because we're getting to the point where we could easily afford another tractor. We could go for something a little bit different if we wanted to. We look down through here. Nothing like this. None of these great big ones. Not yet. Those are still out of our price range. But we've got the Massey Ferguson Series 600. Now, this is an extra mod that I added in, the 600 series. I think that's the extra mod that I added in, isn't it? There was some extra Masseys that I added into the game after somebody requested specifically that I add in these extra Masseys. No, it's the 3000 series. I think it was those two there. That one. This one right here, but that's only 88 horsepower. Right, these are not the strongest of tractors. These are all 88 horsepower. Maybe it wasn't that group there. I got the 6600 there. I've got these over here, these Masseys. These are all 47 horsepower. We've got the Lambo, the Kirovits here. I actually quite like the idea of using a bit of Russian muscle. I've used that before in a series. I think it was Sosnovka. So it's been a while since I used that one, but I do really like that mod. I think it is a really good tractor. We've got another Ford over here, which is 70 grand. And I appreciate that I'm not going to be able to see your comments on this until next week. I do read them and I do try to sort of act on some of them. I just can't act on all of them. That one right there, that's a 95 horsepower tractor there. That's 45,000. We're not far. I quite like the idea of using that one, actually, from the Modern Classics. Front loader, wheel setup, narrows or wides or standards. Probably we'd just go with standards on that if we were to do it. And then we're into like the more expensive stuff again. You know, so yeah, we've got this the 3000. No, I didn't actually activate the mod before I started this one, did I? That's where I went wrong. Right. Okay. I have got another Massey mod that I've not actually activated, which I will try to remember to do for the next episode. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.